Hey, welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. Good morning, everybody. I hope this message finds you on the top of the world. It is Friday morning, so we all love a Friday. And today we are talking about something that I get so many emails at the minute, which I love, by the way. And I know that there's certain people I haven't got back to at the minute, and it's purely because I've been on holiday, but I have starred them all to make sure I can get around to everybody. And people are talking about new people wanting to come in the industry. And I don't blame you, because I think it's a fantastic, incredible industry to get into. And people have been asking me when looking for sites, what do I do? And so I've been going through. Obviously, you guys know what I look for. I look for the criteria has to be over 0.74 square foot. Basically, the average across the UK is 0.74 square foot per capita. So that means per person of self-storage. That's what the normal average person takes up in the whole of the UK. So I personally look to see what the population is, and I divide that by 0.74 or times it by 0.74. And then it gives me the amount of self-storage that town or city should have. Anything below that number is good. Anything above that number is probably you can start looking elsewhere. In America, I was on a mastermind, and people were talking about, do you remember when it was only 2 square foot per person? Incredible. You could just open up everywhere. I was like, hello, we're 0.74 square foot per person, which is phenomenal. We'll look back on this in 10, 15 years and think, oh my God, I cannot believe the land grab times of 2020, 2021, where it was only 0.74 in 2020 and 0.74 square foot per person per capita in 2021. This honestly is land grab. If you get anything, any town, any city below that, then it's worth looking at further. The devil is in the detail here, though, because I want to give you something else that you should do. So, for example, when looking at a certain place like Rochdale, I was looking at Rochdale and I knew that it was underserviced. There was less than 0.74 square foot for that town. Oh, is it town Rochdale? I think it's a town. Anyway, so there was under that many. It wasn't much under it because it had store fair set. It was a massive self-storage facility, 2 buildings and huge on 3 floors, I think it was. And so there wasn't much difference. It wasn't underserviced by much. However, it was only serviced by one major competitor. There was nobody else in the town. And so therefore I thought, do you know what? I can come in there, I can disrupt it, and I can take on Store First. Don't get me wrong, Store First, they're not the type of company that ideally that I'd look to take on, because they're so aggressive with the pricing, very aggressive with marketing, very aggressive with the high price offers, very aggressive with a free van hire, but not only free van hire, that pick up your stuff for you. So they're very, very aggressive. But if there's only one person, it's only me and Store First, guess what? There's room for both of us. And so Rochdale, it was slightly underserviced, and there's only one other operator in the town. So I was like, okay, let's go for it. However, what I believe that many people do not do, and this is something that one of my big takeaways in recent months, traveling up and down the country, looking at other options, looking at other self-storage facilities, looking at towns and cities, is you must drive for dollars. What does that mean? It means driving for dollars. That's exactly what they do in America. That's exactly what they call it. You must drive the town. You must walk the town. You must start talking to the locals in the supermarkets, the checkout people, whoever it may be. I remember a site that I've been looking at. Can't tell you exactly where, because there's still an outside chance that we might be doing it. And I got talking to the staff, and they was in Marks and Spencer's, and they was telling me, oh yes, Marks and Spencer's, and they was telling me all about the local development. I would never ever have found out about it. So don't just drive it on the motorway and drive out. You've got to do more than that. You've got to walk it. See how the city, how the town feels, the look of the traffic flow. Don't just rely on the data, because you can never ever see the traffic flow. You can see the traffic flow to some extent. There's a great app where you can actually see on Google the traffic in certain times and how busy certain roads are. But there's nothing like being there, feeling it, smelling it, experiencing it, to really understand if that is the place you want to be. Yeah, I put here a note. You have to touch it, smell it, breathe it, and see it. And then you can make your decision better. Rochdale looked a really, really awesome site. I found a great location. There was only one other operator. It was under service, but only just. On the data, it looked very, very good. The roadside that I had picked, the location looked phenomenal. It was busy at all the right times. It was a connecting road to an A road. It was phenomenal. But then when I went to Rochdale, I didn't get the love. I didn't feel, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel very affluent. It didn't feel like the correct place for me to park my self-storage facility. Borough upon Fairness is another one. I think it's Borough upon Fairness, the west of the country. On the figures, the data is absolutely incredible. On the data, I would move there tomorrow. It's 3.5 hour drive from me. And if all I've got to do here is I've just got to find a location. That is it. And then when I got there, I looked around, I walked around. The place was deserted. I looked at the population. The population is decreasing all the time. The industry around there, the shipbuilders, everything was decreasing. There was no positive growth. It was negative growth. And I just didn't like the area. It wasn't affluent. It was only really reliant on one big industry. And if anything happens to that one industry, you're in trouble. The population is already decreasing. There's a nuclear power plant nearby. I can't remember what it was, but again, a local told me about that. And straight away on the figures, it looked an amazing location. It looked fantastic, but drive for dollars. Don't just drive there and drive through it. Walk around it, experience it, see what the place has to offer. Because I tell you, that could have saved me 150 grand, 200,000 pound, a 200,000 pound mistake. That day is almost like earning me 200,000 pound, because if I'm not losing it, then I'm earning it. And that was a big, it's an eye opener for me that I've not really thought of before. I thought, do you know what? Moneyball, let the data pick the sites, let the data pick the location. But it's not as simple as that. We've got to do a bit of legwork as well. And do you know what I absolutely love doing these days, where I just drive out, I walk around the city, I walk around the town, I talk to the local people in the coffee shop, in the supermarkets, in the petrol stations, wherever it is, and just get some insight, just get some inside knowledge, just get a better understanding of that area. And that for me is a big takeaway for me. 5 Minute Friday, that is a tip of the day. Do not just rely on the data alone. Go there, smell it, touch it, feel it, embrace it, and get to feel what the whole area is like. Is the population increasing? Is it decreasing? What's happening? So that's my takeaway. All right, guys, girls, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday morning. See you soon. Thank you.